In my last video, I gave a rundown of how we have fixed the worst Destroy All Humans game. Path of the Furon is an unfinished mess clearly taken out of the oven too early. Fixing it seemed like a Herculean task, but our damn team rose to the challenge. What was once unpolished is now polished. But how do these fixes improve Path of the Furon? Did we add anything new as far as content goes? The answer to both is yes. From gameplay fixes to improved graphics to restored content, it's a far cry from 2008's 4 out of 10 of the year. As always, join the Furon army on Discord to stay updated on Re-Enlightened's development. Path of the Furon on paper was another Destroy All Humans sequel. New decade, new crypto, more humans to destroy. The difference was its ambition. Path of the Furon was Destroy All Humans but bigger. Larger levels, crazier combat, and new outlandish weapons joined the returning favorites. But the product that hit store shelves did not deliver the ultimate Destroy All Humans experience. It was glitchy. It was piss easy. It was ugly. It was kind of racist.
Roro.
The foundation of a good game was there, but the structure felt like it could collapse at any second. One of our main goals with Re-Enlightened was to improve the gameplay, turning unsatisfying combat into satisfying action.
Get ready to meet your cloner.
A key component of any Destroy All Humans game is ragdoll. It's what makes actions like PK or using weapons that extra bit satisfying. In Path of the Furon, there's no ragdoll. It's there if you know where to look, but there's none in the moment-to-moment gameplay. What we got instead was stiff mannequins and gratuitous T-posing. Ragdoll was the first thing our modder of Max Dead Bear restored, so humans once again flailed their limbs. We also fixed their collision, so stuff no longer phases through them. Weapons underwent some serious rebalancing. Path of the Furon's arsenal ranges from seriously underpowered to comically broken. The Disintegrator Ray, a go-to weapon in the other games, had the impact of a pellet gun. The anal probe didn't do a lot of damage, and its purpose, giving you extra DNA, was pointless. Why probe the human populace when I could just beeline through the story and max out everything before the halfway point?
Swing by Poxmark to check out my latest destructive creations, and bring your DNA.
Then you had all the ridiculously OP guns like the Zap-A-Mag and Ion Detonator that made the game a breeze. The Zap-A-Mag is usually a good starter weapon until you get the Disintegrator, but even at its default level, it could tear through everything it touched. The Ion Detonator could be combined with Time Freeze, diminishing whatever challenge the game threw at you, which wasn't much to begin with. Add to it questionable design choices like regenerating ammo, and the combat is unsatisfying and, worst of all, boring.
Hail Mary. Boring.
That's been rectified with Re-Enlightened. We rebalanced the hell out of the weapons, in addition to making several fixes. The Zap-A-Mag is once again a reliable starter gun, but if you want something with a little more punch, use the Disintegrator Ray. Need some more DNA? Use the anal probe. Got too much heat on you? Plant a Venus human trap to distract the fuzz, or suck them into oblivion with the black hole gun. Additional fixes like an improved player camera and restored sound effects are small but effective changes that help make Destroying All Humans fun again.
Oh shit, not again.
But what would a Destroy All Humans experience be without a flying saucer? Path of the Furon gave Crypto a new UFO and opened the skies to let you move in all directions. They added aerial enemies, plus they overhauled the saucer with new weapons and a new abduction beam. It sounds amazing, but to quote a certain Skywalker, what a piece of junk. It's not that the saucer was bad, but like the on-foot combat, nothing about the aerial gameplay was good. Humans didn't run away in fear, but skated away at the sight of a UFO. They added helicopters, but they were a nuisance that could be wasted in seconds. The saucer weapons were either useless or overpowered. Why use a death ray when you have plasma cannons that annihilate everything they touch?
So, the saucer runs on cactus farts and boulder dust? I don't see anything else out here.
We took the saucer into the shop and gave it a tune-up or two. For starters, you'll see humans walking around now, which makes slurping them up with your intergalactic vacuum much more satisfying. The plasma cannons still dish out loads of damage, but we fine-tuned their destructiveness so it's more reasonable, less game-breaking. The Tornadotron is great for keeping enemies at bay and you out of harm's way, while Seeker drones make quick work of helicopters. The Saucer is now a Swiss Army knife of destruction, giving you plenty of ways to level skyscrapers and make people fear your flying death machine. Path of the Furon's enemies lacked the eye in AI. Their stormtrooper aim and delayed reactions meant there was no reason to be afraid of the law enforcement that responded to Crypto's chaos. The alert system was also inconsistent, often hitting max alert mere seconds after starting a rampage. Yorpi handled the alert system and improving the enemies. Now the alert gradually escalates instead of going from 0 to 100. Be careful, enemies don't fool around. We improved their firing range, odds of dodging, their weapon damage, and more. Even the lowly cop can pose a problem for Crypto. You may be armed to the teeth, but you're not invincible.
Ain't it always the way? Beat up 40 chopsaki guys, 2 minutes later I'm ready to beat up some more.
In overhauling the alert, Yorpi did some cool things. For starters, there's now a warning alert where a lone cop car pulls up to check out what's going on. Soldiers now pull up in jeeps and trucks at military alert as opposed to coming in on helicopters. No longer do you get thwacked by the propellers, but that doesn't mean we've entirely ditched them. You'll now see cops and SWAT on patrol when in the Saucer. Before, you get a green alert and see nothing. Then it skipped to military without an in-between. Suddenly there's tanks and helicopters attacking you with very little warning. This change in how the alert works is small but effective. Seeing them drive around wondering what the hell is going on is such a cool sight. Additionally, you'll hear lots of new radio chatter thanks to Yorpi's tinkering. Due to how the alert system was set up in vanilla, a lot of the alert dialogue didn't play as intended, but now it does. Perhaps the biggest change Yorpi made was overhauling the final alert. In vanilla, this brought in the Nexos, alien cyborgs that were the new big bad. Thing is, it didn't make sense why they would be attracted to Crypto's destruction. Plus, they weren't fun to fight due to how dumb they were. So we yeeted them from every level except the last one. So what did we replace them with? Instead of fighting clumsy Nexos, you're now fighting a military hell-bent on taking out Crypto. Final alert is a test of strength, so be ready or be pulverized.
Sleep it off, Jack. I hate that guy. His voice grates on my nerves.
Path of the Furon may tout the Unreal Engine logo, but nothing about it screams Unreal Engine. The poor post-processing, short draw distance, and crusty textures all add up to a game that looks more last-gen than next-gen. Our team has gone to great lengths to re-enlighten the graphics. We swapped out several low-res textures with higher quality variants we found in the files of the prototype, the final game, and even the PS3 version. Yorpi and Destroy All Humans Tribute made several new textures and reimagined other ones. No AI upscaling was used, just lots of swapping and lots of talent.
So that's what you've been doing all those hours, locked in your room alone.
We improved the post-processing so the game is no longer saturated in a greasy haze, but a bloom that makes the colors and explosions pop. The lighting has also been fine-tuned to where everything looks more natural and less bright. Draw distance has been increased for people and vehicles, so they no longer reappear 5 feet away from Crypto. It's kind of embarrassing how short Vanilla's draw distance was. You could look at a crowd of humans, turn the camera away a split second, then turn it back to see they had vanished. All the new textures and improvements mean the game looks like an actual Xbox 360 game. Some of these changes are transformative, taking previously unimpressive environments and giving them a facelift. Lost Paradiso no longer looks like a generic pastiche of colored buildings, but a proper video game Sin City. Textures that previously looked flat now have detail. To think this is the game we could have gotten had THQ let Sandblast cook.
Unapproachable splendor of the Emperor's Summer Palace? You sound like the cruise director on Love Boat.
Path of the Furon's cut content is immense enough to fill an iceberg chart. The final game cuts several things including missions, characters, vehicles, and even cutscenes. Restoring this content was something I wondered if we'd be able to do, and the answer is yes. We added several new pedestrians that we found in the prototype and the final game's files. We even took minor story characters and made open world variants of them, using unused pedestrian textures we found to differ them from their story counterparts. What's even crazier is a couple NPCs had unused alternate skin textures. This was fixed by adding a diff parameter they were missing. The increased pedestrian variety means you'll no longer see the same 4 to 5 civilians copied and pasted ad nauseum. Several vehicles have been added back as well. You'll see muscle cars, El Caminos, double-decker buses, and more dotted around the levels.
Shame to waste it.
Remastering the cutscenes is being handled by Destroy All Humans Tribute. Not only will the videos be cleaned up, but some scenes will be re-edited to include previously cut dialogue or to fix continuity mistakes. You'd be surprised how many goofs there are. I can't promise we will restore everything, so if you're expecting the original fight against Saxon's dragon or the cut Big Willie side mission, that's out of the question. If we had the source code, yes, but even then, I'm impressed with what our team has pulled off.
Go! Show them what 500 enraged pygmy marmosets can do against an infinite number of genetically engineered warriors with ray guns!
We've made several big fixes and dozens of tiny ones someone wouldn't think about. We tweaked certain missions and their parameters. For example, there's a side mission where you round up recruits for I Can't Believe It's Not Scientology. In the vanilla game, you could grab any male NPC and drop them off, letting you beat the mission as soon as it started. Now it's only male civilians, meaning there's actual challenge as you hunt them down before time runs out. Escort and protection missions are more manageable, so defending the monastery won't make you break your controller in half. Humans no longer endlessly respawn inside interiors. The final boss room no longer fades in and out if you get too close. Pox's hologram particles don't randomly disappear. There's less dead silence in between music tracks. There are new pedestrian animations. Texture pop-in on people and vehicles is way less noticeable. Again, a bunch of little improvements that show we're either devoted or crazy. Or both.
Too much pop rocks and soda.
I discovered Destroy All Humans in 2010. The idea of a GTA-style game where you played as an alien hooked me. I played the first 2 games to death. Then when I found out they made ones for the Wii and 360, I had to have them. Metacritic scores be damned. I got an Xbox 360 for Christmas in 2011. Instead of asking Santa for Batman Arkham City, I asked him for Path of the Furon. Oh, and EDF Insect Armageddon.
Foolish slug. So much to learn.
I played the hell out of Path of the Furon. Even after I got more 360 games, Path remained in regular rotation. It's ironic this janky alien game I wanted a 360 for became my first gaming project. Making Re-Enlightened has been rewarding, exciting, and gratifying. It may be a mod, but with all its fixes and improvements, it's basically an unofficial remaster. Even if you aren't a DAH fan, the fact a small team finished an unfinished game is a commendable thing. We started off unsure of what we could do to make it better and kept surprising ourselves every step of the way.
And that is one of the good things about having a body.
Path of the Furon was never going to be a trailblazer, but it would have delivered more fun DAH mayhem, except it didn't. Due to the economic climate of the time, THQ thinned the herd. Several studios ended up on the chopping block, Sandblast included. Path of the Furon released, bombed, and killed the series for a decade. It's an infamous game, one that doesn't elicit much fondness from those who worked on it or from people in the gaming community. To be able to revise history and make a better version feels great. Re-Enlightened is my responsibility, and I have a fantastic team behind it.
It's been good working with you, Crypto.
You too, Your Majesty.
That said, we won't be able to fix everything. Some stuff will remain unfixable even after trying everything possible. Pox may now speak all his dialogue, but it still cuts off early. The levels may be more polished, but the last level feels the most gutted. What with all the story missions that clearly had their objectives yeeted, resulting in abrupt endings. Still, this game is in better shape than when THQ shoved it out the door. Re-Enlightened remains on track to drop this summer. What happens next? I don't know. I'm glad Re-Enlightened exists, because we're delivering the ultimate Destroy All Humans experience we were promised all those years ago. Oh, and THQ Nordic, if you see this video, I hope you like what we're doing.